When it comes to capturing a woman's attention, your physical appearance only scratches the surface. Whether you fit her ideal type or not, looks alone can't sustain her interest for long. Many men come to realize that while appearance might spark an initial attraction, it doesn't necessarily make a woman fall for you, pursue you, or become completely captivated by you. What truly influences her desire is how she feels when she's with you, and just as importantly, how she feels when she's away, left to think about you. In this video, I'm going to share powerful psychological strategies that can take a woman's interest and transform it into something far deeper. These methods will help you create a magnetic pull so strong that she begins to imagine a future with you, unable to get you out of her mind. In today's fast-moving world, if a woman isn't thinking about you when you're not around, it becomes challenging to hold her focus long enough to build a meaningful connection. The sooner you establish that emotional bond, the better, or someone else might grab her attention and her interest in you could fade. In this video, I'll walk you through simple, actionable techniques that will heighten the emotional intensity she feels toward you and deepen her attraction. The first strategy we are going to discuss is the idea of earned validation, which centers on how someone makes us feel about ourselves. A lot of men rush to shower women with compliments, offering praise too soon and too often. This kind of unearned validation, like telling a woman how beautiful she is or commenting on her eyes, tends to fall flat. She's heard it all before, and it doesn't spark any real emotional response. Instead, it feels shallow and insincere. I recall a similar experience from years ago when I visited a developing country. I won't name the place, but as a young American with blue eyes, I found myself receiving compliments from girls almost immediately. At first, it felt flattering, but by the third day, the words lost their effect. They no longer made me feel special. They felt empty and meaningless. This is exactly how most women feel about unearned validation. It doesn't resonate because there was no effort on her part to earn it. However, when a woman feels like she has to win your approval, the validation becomes far more impactful and rewarding. So, what is earned validation? It's when she puts an effort to impress you, and over time you become genuinely impressed. This type of validation feels much more satisfying for her because it's something she's worked for. One way to provide earned validation is through spontaneous compliments. This means offering a compliment that feels unplanned and authentic, without any hidden motives. For instance, while she's sharing a story about her recent backpacking trip, instead of offering a generic compliment, you could say something like, "You're really adventurous. That's awesome." It comes across as genuine because it's an honest reaction, not something you calculated to win her over. Another approach is active listening. A lot of guys, when talking to women, are just waiting for their turn to speak, or trying to impress her with their own stories. Instead, focus on really listening and asking deeper questions that show you're genuinely interested in what she's saying. Thoughtful follow-up questions demonstrate that you're truly engaged, and that alone can be incredibly validating. Finally, you can validate her indirectly through a third person. Instead of telling her directly how impressive or adventurous she is, you might say something like, "I was telling my friend about that story you told me the other day." Hearing that you've been talking about her to others adds a layer of depth to the validation, making it feel much more significant. This is the essence of earned validation. It's powerful because it makes a woman feel truly valued and appreciated. The next crucial element in understanding the psychological triggers that drive a woman to become deeply infatuated with you is mastering the concept of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. This strategy revolves around creating tension and anticipation, key factors in sparking and sustaining a woman's desire to pursue you. For many women, the thrill lies in the uncertainty, the mental games they play, as they wonder if something more will happen. This kind of tension feeds both emotional and physical attraction. Imagine you're having a conversation with her, and for a brief moment, you take her hand. She feels a connection, but then you let go, leaving a gap. Now she's left wanting more, anticipating the next touch. If you held her hand the entire time, that excitement would gradually disappear. The same goes for eye contact. During a playful conversation, you lock eyes for a few seconds, building a spark, and then you casually break the gaze, returning to the flow of the conversation. It's this delicate balance of advancing and retreating that keeps the tension alive. This approach works just as well in a growing relationship. As you start spending more time together, communication tends to increase naturally. However, instead of falling into a predictable routine, you need to push things forward, then step back. For instance, after seeing her for a couple of weekends in a row, make plans with your friends the next weekend instead. This creates a sense of uncertainty and longing on her end, making her more invested in the dynamic between you. Women are often drawn to the build-up and the intrigue that uncertainty creates. By applying the 2 steps forward, 1 step back technique, you maintain her interest, keep the romantic tension alive, and ensure that she remains captivated by you. This subtle rhythm of advance and retreat is what fuels her growing obsession, making her think about you even when you're not around. The next powerful psychological trigger I want to dive into is something I call cool vulnerability. This approach is about revealing parts of yourself that are relatable and endearing, while keeping things light and fun. It's the art of being open without overwhelming someone with deeply personal or heavy details. One of the best ways to understand cool vulnerability is by watching celebrity interviews, especially on talk shows. Celebrities like Matthew McConaughey or George Clooney don't win over audiences by talking about their fame or fortune. Instead, they share amusing, everyday stories that humanize them and make them more likable. They come across as relatable, not untouchable, and that's what draws people in. You can apply this same concept in your interactions with women. For example, I once had a conversation with a girl who mentioned crying at the end of Titanic. In response, I shared a funny story about the only time I cried during a movie, watching Armageddon in college with a group of my guy friends. When Bruce Willis sacrificed himself, I teared up and tried to hide it, but my friends noticed. It's a lighthearted, slightly vulnerable story, but it's also funny and relatable, perfect for creating connection without getting too deep. Cool vulnerability isn't about baring your soul or revealing deep insecurities. It's about sharing small, slightly embarrassing moments that make you seem approachable and comfortable in your own skin. The goal is to open up just enough to show authenticity while keeping the mood enjoyable and easygoing. If you want to see this in action, observe how celebrities navigate interviews. They've mastered cool vulnerability because it's effective. It's a key tool in making people feel connected to them. Another vital element of building attraction is being a good audience. When you're engaging with a woman, don't get caught up in what you're going to say next or how to impress her. Instead, focus on being fully present and interested in what she's saying. People naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel heard and appreciated. Think about humor. While everyone enjoys being around funny people, we often prefer the company of those who laugh at our jokes. It feels amazing to be with someone who finds us funny and engages with our stories. The same principle applies in your conversations with women. If she's telling a story, don't just wait for your turn to speak. React, smile, laugh, and show that you're fully engaged. If the moment is serious, shift gears and listen with empathy. Being a good audience is a simple yet powerful way to build a connection. Many guys overlook this because they're too focused on themselves, but genuine attention and engagement can make all the difference in how she feels around you. Another highly effective technique for building a deep connection with a woman is what I call partners in crime. This strategy is all about creating a unique bond through shared experiences and inside jokes that belong exclusively to the two of you. These private moments make the relationship feel special and intimate, setting you apart from anyone else she might encounter. A great example of this can be seen in the early seasons of The Office with Jim and Pam. Before they officially became a couple, they had countless inside jokes and subtle moments of connection that only they understood. This partners in crime dynamic made their relationship compelling and added depth to their bond. In real life, I once knew a girl who really disliked the word literally. Whenever someone used it in conversation, I would shoot her a knowing look and she'd have to hold back laughter. Sometimes if I was talking to someone else who used the word, I'd exaggerate it on purpose just to make her laugh. These shared jokes created a sense of conspiracy between us, an inside moment that pulled us closer together. Another way to cultivate this partners in crime vibe is by suggesting fun, playful adventures that might push her just a bit outside her comfort zone. For example, imagine driving by a mansion hosting an open house and saying, "Let's pretend we're a rich French couple interested in buying this place." The two of you put on accents and ask the realtor absurd questions, trying to keep a straight face. It's a lighthearted, shared experience that becomes a memory only the two of you share. These partners in crime moments help forge a connection that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. Even if she meets men who are funnier or more attractive, these shared experiences, inside jokes, and memorable moments will make it difficult for her to replace the unique bond you've built. The more you create these exclusive memories together, the more likely she is to become truly captivated by you, eager to be with you, and increasingly invested in the relationship. The fifth technique I'm going to discuss is a straightforward yet powerful one: revealing intimate details. This involves sharing personal thoughts or behaviors that most people wouldn't openly admit, creating an atmosphere of trust and closeness. When you open up in this way, it allows her to feel like she's part of a more private, exclusive world with you. For example, imagine casually telling her something like, sometimes when I'm feeling down, I go on Facebook and look up old classmates who aren't doing as well as I am, or I'll check out who my ex is dating and think, I'm definitely better looking than that guy, or I'm more successful. It's something many people might think, but would never say out loud. By admitting it, you're showing a side of yourself that's both vulnerable and relatable. When you share something like this, it often encourages her to do the same. She might admit that she also checks out her ex's new girlfriend and thinks, I'm definitely hotter than her. These small, seemingly trivial admissions create a deeper bond between the two of you. It's like you've both given each other access to thoughts that most people keep hidden, strengthening the connection. The more she opens up and shares her intimate thoughts with you, the more invested she becomes. She'll start to feel like you truly understand her, that you're someone she can trust with her deeper, private feelings. This sense of connection intensifies her attraction and makes the relationship feel more meaningful and unique. Once she's shared parts of herself that she wouldn't reveal to just anyone, her emotional investment in you deepens, making it much harder for her to walk away. Let's wrap things up with the concept of dissonance, a powerful psychological tool that can create a lasting impact when used correctly. This technique revolves around the tension created by conflicting emotions or signals, which leaves the brain searching for clarity and resolution. However, there's a fine line between creating healthy tension and veering into manipulation, and it's crucial to stay on the right side of that line. Dissonance happens when someone is confronted with two contradictory ideas at the same time. Think about a situation where you've become fixated on a woman. It's likely because she sent you mixed signals. Maybe she talks about making future plans with you, like attending her sister's wedding in 6 months, but then frequently cancels dates. This inconsistency causes mental tension because the brain craves clear answers. When we don't get them, we often become even more focused on the person or situation, driven to resolve that confusion. One critical aspect of using dissonance is timing. You can't introduce this tension too early, before she's emotionally invested, or she simply won't care. Many guys mistakenly believe that playing hard to get works in every scenario, but it's only effective when she's already engaged and thinking about you. Once she's invested, that's when a little dissonance can spark a powerful desire, making her the one reaching out, planning things, and envisioning a future with you. This is why dissonance is so effective. It deepens emotional investment when used at the right time. You might notice that some of the most stunning women are often with average-looking guys, not millionaires or supermodels. What sets those men apart isn't looks or wealth, but their ability to create the right emotional experiences, including moments of dissonance that make women want to commit for the long haul. All right, that's it for this video. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and let me know what topic you'd like me to dive into next. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be masculine.